Hello, friends. Welcome to the world of psychology, growth, and development. Myself, Mukul Chaudhari, Assistant Professor, working in the Department of Psychology, KTHM College. Welcome you in your new journey and quest towards developmental psychology. Now, when I say developmental psychology, I expect that you had gone through my last video where I had given a brief insight about the new syllabus of developmental psychology released since this semester by SPPU. So, if you by some reason haven't gone through my last video or missed my last video, I strongly request you to please go through my last video. Now, the branch of psychology, it's a when we say psychology, basically psychology is what? It's a study of human behavior, thought, cognitive processes, emotion, motivation, and lot of things that we always discuss. I mean, normally, if I have seen many people talk about psychology often, and psychology is the most kind of a interesting subject in the humanities. You can say it's a queen of social science, basically. So, developmental psychology, as you must be aware about it, it's a specialized branch. It's a scientific study of how you develop over a period of time. It focuses on growth, change, development, and it also studies the developmental milestones that you come across since the according to Laura Burke, it's a study devoted to understanding human constancy and change from conception till death. Human development includes all changes throughout the lifespan. So, while starting this session, I would like to quote by a famous Swiss psychiatrist, Carl Jung. He has said, "We reach backward to our parents and forward to our children, and through their children to a future we will never see, but about which we need to take care." Carl Jung, Swiss psychiatrist, 20th century. The learning goals of this session is first of all to make you understand the concept of lifespan development perspective, to understand the importance of lifespan development perspective, to discuss various characteristics of lifespan development perspective, and finally to study contemporary concerns of about the lifespan development perspective. So I just wanted to start by asking yourself, do you know the meaning of lifespan? Normally, how many years we live actually? 10, 20, 50, 60, 70? Studies says normally, the lifespan of a human being is around 75 to 80 years, and it varies from country to country or continent to continent. So when I say lifespan, it means your journey from womb to tomb. So it is important that you quantify how many years a person lives. So studies and documents have shown that human beings have lived till 122 years of age, as mentioned by researcher. So when you compare lifespan of human versus animal, you will find a lot of differences. Let's take example of a dog. Dog's lifespan mostly around 18 to 20 years, whereas elephant might be having a more lifespan. So compared to human being, as we are all Homo sapiens, I study shows that so normally an Indian elephant maximum lifespan is having 70 years, and Galapagos turtle they are having lifespan of 100 and plus years. So compared to other species, human survives. So I told you that 122 years had been documented in the Guinness Book of World Record as maximum age that human had survived. This lifespan is important because you need to know the concept of lifespan developmental perspective. And basically, all these three words lifespan, developmental, and perspective you should know the meaning. So, since that's why I started with the lifespan. So, normally in India, the population survey shows that the life expectancy of an Indian man is around 72 years. It might varies from state to state, culture to culture, and context. Even there is a gender difference in this specific lifespan. So you need to know the concept of lifespan. Normally it's a zero till you take the last breath. And there are different stages of development. Just a moment and ask yourself at what stage of development you are all. Are you a teenager or have you crossed your teenage and now you have become adolescent or you're growing as an adult? So there are different stages, right? Now we'll come to the concept of development. When I talk about development, it's the pattern of change that begins at conception and continues through the lifespan. Most development involves growth, although it also includes decline brought by aging and dying. So, this concept of development you should know carefully and make sure you by heart this definition of development. Now, what is the traditional approach of development versus new lifespan perspective of development? Well, traditional approach emphasizes extensive change from birth to adolescence, a little to no change in adulthood and declining old age. So that was the concept of traditional approach. Whereas a new lifespan approach emphasizes developmental change throughout childhood and adulthood. So now you should know the difference between these two things. Paul Barnes is a leading architect of a lifespan development perspective, and he has also contributed a lot in the research of lifespan development perspective. Now, why we are studying it? What is the importance of lifespan development perspective? Well, once you understand the concept of lifespan development, it will make you understand yourself more nicely as self knowledge or self awareness is key to a good mental health. So, by learning the concept of developmental perspective, you will gain a better understanding of your own self or at what stage of development you are in. It will help you optimizing the human development. Next is you will gain a greater appreciation of development throughout life. It will make you a good parent, good teacher. So the children's around you, the families around you, They'll get a lot of benefit from your own knowledge and your own understanding of lifespan development perspective. It will help you to interact with your surroundings, let's say children, very effectively. And most importantly, you will have a deeper understanding of what is normal and what is not. So it affects, it will help you to understand the normal, abnormal, clinical, and other behavior of human beings and people around you. These are the important characteristics of a lifespan development. First is development is lifelong. It means there is not a single stage which dominates a developmental perspective or development function. All stages has a significant role in the process of development. Next two words are a kind of a self-explanatory. Like development is multidimensional, development is multi-directional. Next important thing is development is plastic. Plastic means you are amenable to change. Plastic, the word plastic connotes ability to change. It shows that change is the only constant thing in the world, but as a person, you can change much more things at various stages of human development. Next important point is development is contextual. You context your environment where you are born and brought up. That is very important. Next characteristics of lifespan development perspective is development involves growth, maintenance and regulation of laws. And last is development is co-constructing of biology, culture and the individual. So all these characteristics are very important and you make sure that you learn by heart all these characteristics very nicely. Now the kind of a reflection question to you. Imagine if you would have been born and brought up in other city. Let's say you are born and brought up in Nasik, and let's assume that you have born and brought up in Chennai, Kolkata, Delhi, Jodhpur, Jaipur, or any other city. How you would have been now? How would you have developed? Or let's say assume that you would have brought up or born and brought up in different country, Karachi, Pakistan, London, Western Iran, Israel. How you would have become? Just give a little thought about it. These are all some contemporary concerns. The studies or the application and research of lifespan development perspectives are very helpful in the health and well-being, parenting and education. They also play an important role in socio-cultural context and diversity. Plus the various social policies of government, NGOs, they this lifespan development perspective, they impact all these things. Now, last is the online resources and additional activities that you can do at home. First of all, if possible, try to collect information on Berlin aging study. Paul Barnes, he has contributed immensely in this study. So, this base 1 and base 2, make sure if you possible Google it and try to get more information. Next is, if possible, discuss the concept of generation gap with your siblings or your parents or anyone whom you can feel you can discuss this concept nicely. You must have heard this concept often. So, generation gap. Last is this blog, child psychology. If possible, visit this blog. It will help you to enrich your information and knowledge